Very good.
All right, so welcome to Robb Nichols. We're very happy to have you here as a as an user of your brand, Aquarian Audio. It is for me a pleasure to meet you after being an user for so many years. So, in the frame of the project Twinned by Star of the Universidad de Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, we would like to ask you a few questions about your brand, your products, and if you allow me, I will start by asking you a little bit about you. What is your position in Aquarian Audio, and how did you get into this business?
Well, yeah. Firstly, thank you for having me and interviewing. Thank you mostly for being a user of our products. We depend on customers like you guys to show the world, what's under the seas. It's a mystery for many. So awareness is caring, and you guys help provide that. But yeah, about me. Um, I am just a guy who's always loved sound. Professionally speaking, yeah, I don't actually have any official credentials. I began my post public school education with wanting to be a teacher, and moved from there into audio recording technology. I spent a little bit of time thinking I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, but gravitated just maybe through necessity into just working with sound. In the early days, it was uh, you know marine and home stereo systems, and just kind of loved audio. So Aquarian came to be in the late 90s with I was guiding kayak trips at the time. That was another passion of mine at the time, and I was just leading these tours and wanted to listen to them, and so being an electronics enthusiast and a sound enthusiast and a kayak guide, those things came together to encourage me to build my first hydrophone. Um, I thought that it could be interesting, so I brought some toys, or came prepared. Uh, this. This was the first hydrophone I ever built, and it really was just an old telephone cord, which nobody even uses anymore, and pipe fittings and buzzers and some electronics from we used to have local stores. Now that we have Amazon and whatnot, there's none of that anymore, but Radio Shack here in the United States. And I
Fantastic.
built this hydrophone that, you plug in an earphone and it turns on, and it sounded horrible, and but it worked. It kind of exposed some things that I had never experienced before because hydrophones at the time were frankly just way too expensive. Um, I ended up writing an article for Sea Kayaker magazine. So this is the original issue from 1998, and uh, in the process of writing this, how to make a $15 hydrophone with pipe fittings and phone cords and things. I launched a kit at the time, and then sold this little first ever kind of production thing. Uh, but anyway, yeah, that is my position in acquiring audio. I'm the founder. I got into the business 27 years ago. It was run as somewhat of a hobby business, for probably 5 years or more, and it just slowly evolved, truthfully, without much of a business plan into what it is today. And we went from wanting to provide hydrophones for kayakers to, ecotourism like you were involved in, and then on to all kinds of other applications, which probably be covered a little bit later. So, at the risk of being too wordy, that's who I am. I'm the founder. I'm still the general manager, and also product designer. It's a small company. Aquarian only has three full-time employees and then a couple of management people. So, yeah,
That's
that's
that's very nice. Very nice story. Very inspiring, actually, to see that now it's a business that it's spread all over the world. It's yeah, very inspiring.
it
What
is fun.
What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess that's one of the secrets of the success, right?
Yeah, it's fun to see things pop up on YouTube, and whatever nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
What makes Aquarian audio stand out? What are the technical features and characteristics? I know, as far as you can tell, as you can share with us here, that makes Aquarian audio trustful and a good brand.
I think that uh, the mission of Aquarian has always been to make hydrophones more accessible. In the same way that, a kayak guy just wanted to listen to whales, so long ago. We wanted to take, the origin of hydrophones were, military applications and in pure science, adopted them fairly shortly after that. But they're always very hard to get, very expensive. And so the mission of Aquarian has been to make hydrophones more accessible and affordable, so more people can use them. And so I would say that there's probably no, well, there's certainly no cutting edge technology in Aquarian hydrophones. Where I have focused my efforts is in building hydrophones that can ship quickly and ship affordably. And with that noted, I mean, I had a few things that I thought about sharing with you, but really, that's the essence. The the technology that we have, I did bring a few visual assets, like just as an example of this. Our latest hydrophone in the Aquarian Scientific line is our S1, and the S1, people can go to our website for that if interested. Or actually, here's a photo of our S1, and I don't know if any of this is coming through, but people can find this on the website. Um, it's more of a measurement grade hydrophone as opposed to our Aquarian audio lines, which focus on being rugged, being easy to repair, being affordable, and high sensitivity, and connecting with standard recording interfaces. Um, but you know, in an effort to make hydrophones more accessible, they need to be affordable. They need to ship quickly, and so in the design of our products, we make here's a rack of S1 transducers, and I don't think of this technology so much as design creativity, but the hard part in making a hydrophone is not so much the assembly of it, but the encapsulation of it and the testing of it, just to make sure that we're shipping a good product. And so the closest thing I can say about technology is we prioritize uh, making something that's very easy and quick to assemble. So, the whole hydrophone is basically, in a little module, and then we have the option to drop, you know, several different types of amplifiers into it, and attach a cable, and then pod it. And we will do in, a day or two, uh, the process that oftentimes with many manufacturers will, take a month long lead time or something like that. And for certain configurations, we'll even create stock, and hydrophones can ship the same day. So anyway, I'm perhaps getting a little bit wordy with that without a real explanation, but our goal is not high tech so much as accessibility, and that's where we've always focused our efforts.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. And I can tell you that it's been working. We are now speaking here from uh, two corners of the planet. You are in Washington State. I'm here in the Canary Islands, and your products have arrived here uh, for being this far very fast,
Yeah.
and in perfect conditions.
If it
So,
were, if it
yeah.
weren't for the shipping and customs costs, we'd probably do even better with international, but it's still try to make it accessible anyway.
with this perspective, how do you think aquarium has helped to show aquatic fauna from another perspective, and how it has it contributed to acoustics, to stimulate conservation in companies, that promotes sustainability?
Uh, Consistent with some of the things I was just saying, I would probably rephrase that, not so much how do we do it from another perspective, but how do we, show fauna from an additional perspective. And by making hydrophones more accessible to industry, to tourism, to academics, to all these things, but also to any individual who's just curious. Um, I think we're more likely, uh, just in the process of putting hydrophones in the hands of more people to find an additional perspective, to allow the whatever masses we can provide tools to come across those discoveries. So that seemed like a wordy response and somewhat vague response, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's like the more people that can use the hydrophones, or with more people using the hydrophones, we have higher chances of discovery as we place hydrophones in more places in the sea and around the world. So I guess that
Yeah,
would be my answer to that.
yeah,
So,
definitely agree. So yeah, we have only 8 more minutes until this conversation cuts. So
oh,
just to finish, can you tell me how do you see the brand in the future? What are the perspective for acquiring audio? Are there still any niche where you can get through? What's your plan in the future?
the plan, truthfully, as I said, I've been in this for 27 years. The plan right now is to help guide the business towards an even more capable leader, and grow the business to where we continue our mission. Um, I'll say that we don't want to lose sight of our original mission. We want to keep providing tools to people like yourself and others that are looking to uh, create a better awareness of the health of our oceans, right? But from a sustainability point of view, there's a lot of things that are probably a little bit outside of your wheelhouse. We can, for instance, leak detection is a fairly big uh, business sector for us. And so if people can use our hydrophones to detect leaks in real time or find leaks more efficiently, then we save water. Um, Aquaculture can be quite detrimental to, natural aquatic systems, but in anything, we need to find ways to mitigate the bad effects and to minimize waste. And so, from a sustainability standpoint, whether you agree with, putting a big old shrimp farm right in the middle of, a natural environment, if we can if we can listen to the sound of shrimp feeding and know when they stop feeding and shut the feeding hoppers off, then we minimize waste and we minimize pollution to the outside. And the same can go from, we have people that use our hydrophones for engineering things, testing the structural integrity of a bridge piling. Don't ask me how it's done. I never finished my mechanical engineering degree or structural engineering, but they can use sound to check for, whether a gas well is leaking or whatnot. And so there's many avenues of sustainability that aquarium can address beyond just making people uh, uh, more aware of aquatic fauna, as you say, and as is your focus. Um, so yeah, as far as the future of aquarium, I just think that we're very well positioned in to help take advantage of this democratization of sensors, and maybe we don't all need a sensor on our refrigerator or very home appliances, right? But that same attitude, with the with low cost computing devices, like Raspberry Pis and Arduinos and everything, and sensors for every conceivable thing for radio products. All of these things are becoming more accessible, and so Aquarian wants to be a part of facilitating that group to where people can build mesh networks in the ocean to help mitigate, shipping strikes with whales or, they're very creative people working in all kinds of ways um, to build systems to help mitigate anthropogenic noise and, like I say, ship strikes, things like that. And so that's where we want to be. We want to hold on to our values as far as making things more accessible to anybody who's curious, but also provide, a good quality and an affordable sensor to to help with, yeah, those types of applications. Sustainability should be all of our goals, right? And I have kids. I want them to grow up into a world that still has whales and everything else we're looking out for. So that's
Yeah.
our goal, I guess. Yeah,
Great, great. Thank you very much, Rob. It's been fantastic. Thank you for sharing your experience, your products, your brand, and yeah, see you in the ocean. We'll keep in touch with your products.
very good. Well, yeah, and thank you for your work. I mean, we need the scientists of the world, and we need the people showing some people that data. So anyway, grateful for the collaboration. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you.